Hi everyone, welcome back to my Animal Crossing New Horizons series. This is part 54. In the last episode, we went ahead and decorated a couple different paths. I have decided that in this one, I'll go ahead and decorate the surrounding of museum. Hopefully, we'll be able to complete as much as possible. As usual, we do have Isabel's broadcast here, so let's see what she has to say. I'm actually pretty excited to decorate today's path because we are going to be decorating a side of the island which will be kind of a secret hidden area. This one will be leading to a lighthouse as well as a patch of land where you can actually jump to the ocean. I'm not really sure what I should be calling it, but I'm pretty excited to go ahead and decorate it. Seems like today we do not have any mail, so we can actually skip it. But there was one thing that I definitely wanted to move, and it was my simple DIY workbench. I don't really want it to kind of block the path towards my house, so I think this one now is much better. There we go. Now that's done, I'm pretty excited to see all the new villages. Ooh, alright. Bones has something to tell us. I guess it's another new reaction. This has been definitely pretty cool. I'm super happy to see Bones on my island, but I really wish that I got a chance to kind of visit his house. After all, his house interior wallpaper and flooring looked amazing. My guess is that his house is probably like a library. Anyway, now that we are here, let's quickly check out the resident services building as well. Hoping to kind of go ahead and keep on the Nook Miles bonus. And I'm also trying to get the Nook Mile app, which I think you'll only get once you have bought around 100 items from Nook Shopping. I'm almost there for that, considering I have been buying a lot of items from the catalog section, which I already have. Hopefully I'll be able to go ahead and get the app pretty soon. We do have a couple different items here in the recycling box. So I did go ahead and get the ones I saw. Let me see if these actually look good. Alright, not bad. I actually like the pant better than the skirt. So I'm going to go ahead and wear this one. So I guess this is going to be our outfit for today. Let me quickly check out Nook's top as well before we move on. Seems like my bonus is definitely going up. The main reason for this is that it's an easier way for us to go ahead and get more Nook Miles. Nothing in the seasonal items either, so I guess that's all for resident services for now. This reminds me, I actually demolished a log stairs in the last episode, and I think I do have to go ahead and create a new one. Offline, I did just go ahead and check if the log stairs had been demolished, and it has, so I did come back to resident services building. I wish I had done this before I left this building, but anyway, here we are. So let's quickly go ahead and go into the catalog, select a newer one, and go ahead and completely pay out for it. This will help us in the next episode when we are going to Bones' house to have a new log stairs over there. There we go. Now there is one thing though, I'm not really sure if I do have enough bells to go ahead and get a log stairs ready by today. So I'll quickly go ahead and check out my bank account, see if it's possible. Anyway, sadly my pocket once more is completely filled. Although I do have a couple different items that I'm gonna be using on my decoration. So this will definitely help me. Usually when I do start a episode, I really like to kind of have my pocket filled. Sometimes if I don't have the item that I need, it's a bit difficult to kind of decorate that part. So it's usually helpful if I do have a pocket full of different items that I could use and try out to see if they actually look good. Either way, here I am making my way to the newer place. This is where I'll be having my log stairs. As you can see, it's quite far away from the bridge itself and will help in decorating this part of the island when I do get started with it. But there we go. This is how it's gonna look once it's done. It seems like I don't really have enough bells in my pocket right now, but I'm just gonna go ahead and pay out all of this amount. Then go back to the bank and get the rest of it. Alright, I guess this log stairs is not as bad as the bridge. I mean, the bridges are super costly, especially the ones that you think looks really good on your island. In my case, I did have to get the red Zen bridge, which was super costlier. But if you're going for a simpler one, I think it wouldn't cost too much. But either way, if you're having a lot of them, at the end of the day, you would need quite a lot of bells to go ahead and get them. Alright, seems like we do have enough. Hopefully I do have a space in my pocket to go ahead and pull this one out. Well, here I am. I did go ahead and check out the shop for today to see if there were any furniture that I really wanted to buy. There was one which I definitely need. Unfortunately, my pocket is full, so I'm just gonna leave it right there, and at the end of the episode I'll just go back and buy that item. But there we go. That is all on this log stairs right here. Now that this is significantly far away from the bridge, I think I'll be able to plant a couple of trees and make it look much better. Now, before I go ahead and decorate my island, I decided to go ahead and visit the Red's boat. Apparently he is on my island, so I guess it's a time for me to go ahead and check out on all the paintings over here. Ooh, alright. He does have a couple different items which I think is pretty cool. Especially the potted flowers that is right next to it. Now, I really wanted to buy the stage flame machine. Unfortunately, my pocket only has one space, so I'll go ahead with this one. I think these flowers do look pretty cool. This is a version of the original one that I got. I got the planted starters. But if you do customize them, you'll be able to have different colors of flowers on them, and the yellow one is one of those versions. As for the paintings, I think I might actually buy this one. It looks like it's actually an original, so I'll be able to go ahead and donate it to the museum. That's all on this for now. Now, here I am in front of the museum. As you can see, I actually displayed a information statue right there. This one, even though it's an original one, I have already donated an original one before. So this is actually a duplicate piece of it. I just decided to go ahead and display it since we are in front of the museum. To be honest, I don't really have any plans to go ahead and keep a couple of these statues or artifacts in front of the museum itself. But I'm just gonna try and see how my decoration actually works out. If it does not, I might try using some of these statues in front. There we go, that is on this side of the smaller cliff. I'm not too worried. I'll go ahead and plant a couple of carrot starters around here, as well as keep a couple of outdoor items. I'm also using up a couple of my green glowing moss. On this one though, I haven't yet found more of it. Hopefully in the future I'll be able to find a couple more of these glowing moss, so I'll be able to use them all around my island. There is an item that I want to craft, which is the glowing moss pool, which I was able to find the DIY recipe for, but unfortunately I do not have enough of these glowing moss to go ahead and craft it. Apparently it needs around 30 glowing moss, but as you can see I only have around 15 of them. So I just guess that it's easier for me to go ahead and use them on the island, and maybe in the future when I do find more glowing moss, I'll be able to craft that glowing moss pond. There you go, that is on this part. It's pretty simple, but I think the main decoration that I'll be doing is gonna be down here. This is the secret beach I was talking about. I know it does not look that secret right now, but it is a pathway that goes directly to the ocean, and I definitely want to go ahead and decorate it a bit more to make it look much better. Initially, my design for this path was to kind of have wooden logs all over it and kind of make it look like a shipping dock. But I wasn't able to find a perfect pathway for it. So here I am just using the ones I have right now. Maybe in the future when I do find a better design, I'll go ahead and come back here and change this design itself. As for now, I'm gonna go ahead and alternate between this flower and the green design. I think this one is a much better use of it. I didn't really like how the fences actually stood here, as well as they did give a massive space over there. So decided to go ahead and plant a couple different shrubs around it to kind of stop people from going next to the ocean. By the way, if you did see my lighthouse in the background, I've actually gone ahead and customized it to kind of look like it's been built up of bricks, which I think looks super cool. Initially when I did order it from my island, it came with white and blue stripes. There are a couple different customizations that you can do for it. You can have a lighthouse that is completely white or have a different color instead of blue. I think there was a design with white and red. There was also another one which had top part of it as white as well as the bottom base of it as black. That one was super cool. But when I saw this one with brown color and bricks, I thought this looked so much better than the others. So I went ahead and got it customized to this one. Maybe I'll be able to use the white with blue straps as it is in the other side of my island. And yes, I am planning to use another one. I'm not really sure when I'll be buying it, considering it's quite a lot of Nook miles. I mean, it might be around 5,000 to 6,000 Nook miles, and getting back those Nook miles is so much difficult than just spending it out. So I'm just gonna wait until I have a bit more so that I can actually go back and buy it. Here we go. I'm almost done with the path itself. I am not sure about the design I'm doing here, so I had to go back. As you can see, I am designing on top of the green color circle that I had before. This is gonna be the base entrance, and I definitely want to use a couple different items to kind of decorate it. I'm also planning to go ahead and plant more holly starters or holly shrubs in the either side of this path to block people from kind of running to the beach wherever they find the pathway. I mean, I have seen so many people do that, and I really don't want to have that here. So I'm just gonna go ahead and try to avoid as much as possible. In the base, I decided to go ahead and plant 2 starters, so that should be good. Unfortunately, I am running out of holly starters. So let me quickly go back to Harvey's Island, buy more, and come back here. Alright, there we go. I didn't really have to visit Harvey's Island. For some reason, I actually had more of holly starters in my storage, so I was lucky enough to go ahead and just bring them from my house. There we go. That should be good. Initially, I decided to plant another one here, but I realized that I have to have a small path that will let me go to the lighthouse itself. So let me remove this one. There we go. Maybe I'll be able to use my stone path, which I really like, and kind of have it used over here. As for the end, I did go ahead with the bamboo bench, which will look super cool. Let me quickly go ahead and add the stone path right here. There we go. That should look good. I'm gonna add a couple of flowers. By the way, the flowers that I am using here, it is so much better. I mean, I did not think that it would look that realistic, but it actually does, and I was super happy with it. There we go. That is on the decoration for this path right here. I guess all we have to do now is wait for a day or more for the shrubs to kind of grow up, and once they do, I think this path will look super cool. Now that we have that completed, let me decorate a bit more on the front side of this museum. I do have a small idea for this place right here, but I'm not really sure how well it will actually work out. Let's see if it does. there we go. Let me try that once again. This is the bamboo shelf, and I think I really like this item, especially in the smoked bamboo color that it's coming here right now. Once I do have a tree planted here, I'll be able to go ahead and have a pathway to kind of sit down right next to this waterfalls, which I think will look super nice. There we go. Seems like I'm running out of apples as well. I only have 3 of them left. I mean, I do have a couple of apple trees which have fully grown. In case if I do need to plant more apples in the future, I'll go ahead and pluck some of them from there. As for the side of the museum, I decided to go ahead with a couple of bamboo trees. You might have heard me in the second episode where I was decorating Midge's house, and I was talking about having a bamboo forest, and that is what I'm gonna try out right here. I'm definitely interested in having a couple of bamboo trees around here. I think this is a good area for me to go ahead and have that. There we go. That took a lot of effort for some reason. I mean, to be honest, my controller is not drifting. It's just me just struggling to dig. It's a whole another level. But there we go. I'll just go ahead and plant 5 of them for now. I'm not really sure how much space a bamboo tree actually needs for it to actually fully grow. So for now, this is how much I'm gonna plant over there. Other than that, I want to decorate this part of the smaller cliff. This is right next to, I think, Cephalopod's house, and I want to have a path that is leading behind his house to that cliff right there, as well as have a path in front of his house which will make its way to the museum or the other side of the small rivulet. First thing I did was go ahead and plant a bunch of the shrubs at the end. After all, I don't want any kind of weeds growing over there in the future. I also decided to go ahead and use more of my stone path, which I am so accustomed to using at this point. Out of curiosity, I actually went online and tried to find some custom paths for the stone ones, just like the one I have right here. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to find a better stone path from this one, so I guess I'm gonna be sticking with this stone path design for now. There we go. I also have decided to go ahead and use a couple other items at the end here. Maybe I'll be able to have a fence or a plant. In this case, I did go ahead with a shrub. You might have seen there is a vine coming up from the cliff in the left corner right there. So definitely want to have a path there, but I want to have a division between the path that's right next to Cephalopod's house as well as the path that goes up to the museum itself. So I might have to go ahead and use a couple of fences to kind of block the path. Anyway, this path should be good enough for now. I'm also trying to see if I'll be able to have an item right next to his house. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to use those folding table. Let me try with another one. Ooh, alright. The lawnmower looks good. I'll go ahead and use that one. As for the stone path, there we go. I did correct it. The next thing to do is go ahead and have a path from the villager's house to the staircase itself. This one I think is much easier considering it is a smaller space. I can just go ahead and have a one larger path right here. Initially, I actually didn't see which path I was using down below. So I'm not really sure if this path is the same as that one. If it is, at some point I have to come back and change this one. I mean, you can actually use the same path for the whole island, which I think is a different level of dedication, which I haven't really achieved yet. Usually when I do have a path that I'm designing, I like to use multiple of them just because I think it looks much better. I remember having one path for my initial island, the first one that I had actually created when I got this game. And that was the only island where I did not terraform, as well as had only one path, which I think was the brick path that you actually get by buying through patent and Nook Stop. I didn't even use any customized design for that either. But for some reason, after looking at so many different custom designs that people have shared with everyone, with this community online, I feel like I could never go back to that. I mean, I could try using the paths that is already available in the game, but I think it wouldn't get that customized touch if you don't use different other customizable paths. You might have seen me use a couple of fences. That is a way of separating the path that's going behind Cliptobot's house, as well as the path that comes in the front. For this one, I'm going to use the same one as the other path. As you can see, the path below is same as well, but at this point I think this path is super cool, so I'm just going to keep on using it. There we go. Couple more of these to be added. This looks definitely much better. Although I do need a item in between here to go ahead and kind of have. I feel like this large space here is definitely not something what I want to have. For some reason, when I was decorating this path, I did not think of trees. I'm not sure why. I mean, I have planted so many trees in other parts of my island, but for this path, for some reason, I just ignored the trees. I mean, without trees it does look good, but I really wish at this point I had actually planted a couple of them. Anyway, now that I do have this one, I'll go ahead and just go on with this design and see how it actually looks overall once the whole island has been decorated. If it doesn't look good, as usual, I'll go ahead and just change it up. You might see me struggle a lot while putting these parts, but trust me, some days when I haven't really played this game for quite some time, it gets a bit difficult for me to actually put the part down. There we go, that does look good. I'll be able to go ahead and plant some shrubs maybe at the end here, right next to the log stars itself. At this point, I think I have a lot of fruit trees, more than cedar trees on my island. Maybe I do have to go back to the shop and buy more cedar trees. This point, I guess it's not actually cedar trees, they're going to be just cedar starters. Either way, let me go ahead and design a bit more at this side. As for this one, I'll go ahead and plant another shrub. There we go. Like I said, I definitely want to have an item here in the middle. For this one, I decided to go ahead and use the curved street light, which I'm actually not really sure about. I mean, the street light does look good, but it's not something I think I would use as a centerpiece for this path. But since I don't really have any other item, I'll go ahead and actually use the curved street light. Once I do have a couple more DIY recipes crafted, I'll go ahead and have those ready. It has been quite some days now since I have not actually played this game, and looking back at this footage, I really wish I had planted a cedar tree right here. That would have blocked people from seeing the other part and made it look a bit more hidden. I guess you do get ideas in the future when you go back and see your own video. This is something that happens to me quite a lot, and I definitely have to come back to this part once again and see how I can actually redecorate it. For now, this is what it's gonna look. I also decided to go ahead and add another fence right here, as well as a flower. There we go. That is on the design for this path right here. I think the back path right here looks especially good. As far as the front one goes, I'll keep it as it is for now, and maybe in the next episode we'll go ahead and change it up. Alright, so that's all I had for this episode. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, please like and subscribe to my channel. If you'd like to support me more on Patreon, check out the links in my description. And I'll see you guys in the next one.